Well, hello there and welcome back. Today I'm gonna go through and talk about one of the most underrated Nulgath pets I could find. This is a really good option for members to go ahead and farm blood gems. It's a really quick way of getting blood gems, so as it getting going. It's a little bit of a catch. It has a small farm at the beginning after you get the pet, but once you have that out of the way, it is pretty simple, pretty easy, and pretty quick. So let's go over and let's see where do we get this pet. We're going to come over to Crash Ruins. So we're gonna come over to Valencia and we're gonna do the quests over here. You have to do the quests in order to unlock the farming quest from Duobo. Once you have done that, you can come here, you can get both quests if you're a member. If you're not a member, you can only get the first quest. Okay, so what you want to do is you want to come over to this room over here, and then you can cycle back and forth between these two rooms until you have all of the normal mobs out of the way. If you remember, you can do this, and then you can kill the boss once, and then turn in the quests, kill the boss once more, and then come back to these rooms and just do that until you have enough global coins to buy the pet and whatever else you want from the shop. After you're done that, you can go over to the merch shop and go over and buy the gem of Nulgath. Once you have the pet, you're gonna gain access to a set of quests. First quest you need to do is you need to get the mining approval of Nulgath out of the way, because this quest is going to give you the gemstone recipient of Nulgath, which is required for you to actually have access to any of the quests. You can see that there is other requirements such as an unidentified 4, 13, and basically the pet and the recipient, but those are extremely easy to get with supplies to spin the wheel or with the assistant. So you can get both of those really easily out of the way in 10 minutes. Now the hard part is going to be the gemstone, because it requires you to farm all these items. They're not as hard as they look, and I'm gonna go over on how to get each individual item. So we're going to start off with Recipient of Nulgath, which is the one of the hardest ones to get. We're going to head over to Tertius Limb. So we're going to go to Nulgath. If you do not know the path, just follow where I'm going and you're going to be all fine. So once we are at Nulgath, we have to go over to talk to him, go to his quest, reward quests, and accept the recipient of Nulgath quest. So we're going to head over to AQWorlds, and we are going to head to the portal. We are going to head over here. You want to alternate in between these two rooms if you have a good farming class. For the next item, we're going to head over to Extinction. This is a map by which you can either do the questline or you don't do the questline. For this particular item, you do not have to do the questline, but you will need to do it in the future for other quests. What we're going to need to get from here is coal, which is dropped either by one of these two monsters or by the boss. So once you're done, we have to get Essence of Nulgath, which is pretty easy to get. You can either get it at Tertius Limb in the either first or second room, or you can get it at Nulgath. Since we are doing this for members only video, I assume you're going to go to Nulgath or not. That's up to you. So for the last part of this quest, we're going to head back to Nulgath. We're going to head to his shop, and we're going to have the Bed of Affliction here. Side note, you need Vampire rank 10 in order to buy this. It's a bit expensive, not gonna lie, but with the gold boosts going on and with all the dailies giving you a bunch of gold, I don't think that's going to be a problem. If you're in need of gold, just head back to my main page and look for the gold boost tutorial I made. It's extremely simple to follow and extremely overpowered. So let's go over and buy the sword and see if we get lucky. Anyway, now that we have the recipient out of the way, I'm gonna go ahead and farm both vouchers and identify 13 using supplies to spin the wheel. I will use Crag and Bamboozle's quest for this because at the time of recording this, I cannot find for the love of me anyone farming Ultra Alten. Only using Crag and not using Oblivion Blade is going to be a little bit slower than Elton. While farming supplies to spin the wheel for the first quest to get the recipient, I'm also going to get Unidentified 13 and Unidentified 4 and 5 out of the way for the rest of the quests. Okay, now that we have the main bits out of the way, let's get the totem really quick. The first thing we have to head back to the Nulgath and take his quest, the farming quest called Totem of Nulgath. Then we had to touch a Synod limb once again. We had to swindle and then 2 rooms back. And here we're gonna find Taro, the Blade Master, which is going to have a quest, which is member only as well. You're gonna need to have Purified Claymore. I'm gonna put on screen how to get it. Is 2 or 3 simple steps. And here you can either trade 10 gems of Nulgath in 1 Makai rune, which you get from killing a Makai, or a Taro Manslayer, or you can kill Taro until he drops it. Now that we have the totem, we're going to need some more essences of Nulgath. Now for the last part of the quest, we're going to head over to Shadowfall War and we're going to kill some monsters here. Way more darkness gem that I needed later, we can get the recipient. So to farm the main bits and pieces of what you need for this, you're going to have to do this quest a bunch of times because every single quest here for regents requires either Bloodstone of Nulgath, Quartz of Nulgath, or Tanzite of Nulgath. You don't have to worry about this one because this one you'll have way better chances of getting it when you turn in gems and quartz for blood gems. There's a 13% chance of you getting it here. As you farm blood gems, you can have chances of getting this, stacking it up, and then using it later. the hidden onyx of Nulgath, which you can get it here by killing the shadow of Nulgath. Now, I'm going to show you how to get the other items in order to farm the bloodstone, the quartz, and the tanzerite. So for the unidentified weapon, we're going to head to Sword Haven Undead. There's actually multiple locations you can get this item from. I like to come here because this is the easiest location to get it. Next up, we're going to need a sword. Now once we're here, we're going to head to the right room here. And we're going to kill the Abaddon a couple of times until he drops the sword. There you go. Usually takes in between 5 and 10 kills to get a sword. You can get lucky, you can get unlucky. It's pretty much RNG, doesn't have a specific drop rate, is an awesome rarity sword. But once you have the sword, that's the last piece of the puzzle, and you can just go ahead and stockpile ultimate darkness gems and identified weapon. So for about 35 minutes of farming, I managed to get 4 bloodstones. Then I got 18 quartz, so 18 quartz and 18 gems, and 3 tanzerite of Nulgath, which translates into 8 blood gems. For the 35 minutes it took me to get the ultimate darkness gems, the unidentified weapons, and to turn in the quests with the sword dropped one at a time, which took me about 8 minutes to get. So for about 35 minutes in total of farming, you can get 8 blood gems, plus a chance at identified gemstone. Let's actually accept that, and then you could probably turn in for either some gems, which you can get about 75 tinted gems, or dark crystal shards, about 10, or if you're lucky, even 20. I really hope you guys enjoyed. Stay tuned for more guides like this, and I'll see you very, very soon.